Pandemic prompted a number of Filipinos trying their luck in setting up businesses for additional income. Despite the challenges, several small and medium enterprises still thrive and survive. To share with us useful advice for aspiring entrepreneurs is Francis Kong. Francis, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, and thank you very much for having me. It's such a good pleasure for me to be with you today.
So, Francis, a year and a half into this pandemic, you have many micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises being impacted hard. They had to scale back operations or they had to shut down. Is it too late for them to pivot?
You know, this might sound like a cliche, but it's never too late to have a brand new beginning, as one motivational speaker would say. This is what I would like to say. For a seasoned entrepreneur, pivoting has always been there, whether it's pre-COVID or most specifically during this COVID time. The only difference is the scale. Kaya po, while a lot of business, unfortunately, they have to close shop because they don't have enough resources. But others naman, they understand. Time to scale down a little bit, but at the same time, you don't just scale down and you stay idle. You got to pivot. You got to adapt. You got to change to the changing demands and the changing time.
And pivot, Francis, towards the digital platform to survive?
Yes. Digital is the new default. There's no getting away from it. Now, you're going to be amazed because I just did a 3-day masterclass on entrepreneurship for SMEs. And when we did polling, there's still a high percentage of people who are just now entering the digital transformation. Others, they're newbies forced by the lockdown, but others, they're enjoying. Those who have understood the power of the digital tools that they can use, they pivot now, and actually many of them have discovered new opportunities.
And how important, Francis, is market knowledge, having a feel for your customers and the industry that you're getting into when you start a new business?
You know, there's nothing more important than the acquisition of knowledge. Now, the question is, what kind of knowledge are you gonna be getting? Well, essentially, what is important is to first understand the self. What are the resources and the competencies that we have had ever since? Because there's something you want, it's always with you. Entrepreneurship is not an activity. Entrepreneurship is both a mindset and a right resource allocation of what you have. So next thing now is we have to understand the knowledge of knowing that every time there's a crisis, it disrupts normalcy. So there's going to be new needs, there's going to be new problems, and when we can provide a solution that the customers need, you have a brand new opportunity for doing business. And then, of course, lastly, you got to make sure that your knowledge comes from trusted sources. Watching your show could be one of them. And so you don't just get knowledge from everywhere, but you got to filter your knowledge. And then one thing that I don't know why it's not being said, ask those who know and then verify those knowledge. It's extremely important. Your business, your resources, know the market, know the needs, and then respond correspondingly.
Know your business, know your resources, know your customers. But is that really possible, Francis, in this pandemic when everyone is working from home and using Zoom meetings, Google Meets, or Microsoft Teams to get to know their customers and know the market rather than face-to-face meetings?
That's the beauty of the digital tools, wherein a lot of people still do not know that you are now equipped with a lot of data analytics that can give you the trending and the understanding of the movements of the market. Like, for example, there's just so much information. DTI has it, but how many among us really make the way to get those information? These providers of the internet, they have it. And even right now as we speak, through the Zoom and then through our screen, we can find access to data that can help us. And so the knowledge is there, but the understanding is you have to seek for knowledge. You know, there's one thing I talk about knowledge. Knowledge kasi is very suplado. Knowledge is a snob. Knowledge wants to be sought. It doesn't seek you. You have to seek it. But you have to understand these digital availabilities and tools that can provide you access to the right knowledge that you can use for your business.
Thank you so much, Francis, for the very important advice that you shared with me and with our final word viewers. Thank you so much for joining us.